Okay, so I didn't have a great week. I feel like I've been saying that more often lately. Kind of keeps going back and forth. Um, this last week was, I would say, about the equivalent of the last off season. It was about, not quite that bad, but it was about that bad. So, nothing I tried to do went all that well. I did kind of sort of make progress. I was played 9 games, won 1 out of 9. So didn't try to push that. Just kept watching my rating fall further and further. It was getting discouraging at this point. So when I end up on a losing streak, I kind of just stop. Try it a few different periodic times, and if it's just not, just seems to be the same thing, I just kind of let it go for the week. By that point, we're getting close to reset. So, did manage to get 2 rewards. I should have 3. So, I did use my necklace as I've been doing here, proof of initiation, and I ended up at the Stewart's Rest here in Bastion, which is actually quite nice. I must say, it's actually relaxing. I've just been hanging out here. So, and then I noticed just recently over here, I was like, what is that floating thing on the water? And yeah, so there you go. Okay, so now if we go ahead and go to Orbos. Yeah, it seemed like once the conquest cap was lifted, PvP was kind of groups were balancing out, um, and that was kind of true. It was just a lot of people that didn't seem to know kind of what they were doing. That if I had to sum up the week, that would be it. It wasn't so much that people were bad; it's just people didn't seem to quite know what they were doing. So it's been a bit of an unusual week. Where am I going? I ran right past mhm, the vault. So, as I said, I should have 3. I should have 2 PvP and then 1 LFR. So I had when it kind of was clear PvP wasn't going to pan out all that well this week. I had higher hopes to do more in LFR. Try to get some more of the set for Raid Finder. Um, However, as I said, I've been running the same 4 bosses in large part. Um, and it just seemed like people got in there, like I said, just did not know what they were doing. So it took about twice as long as about half, about as long, half, twice as long, something like that, as it normally would. So only got 1, which is no help. Which is no help. So this is just really, I guess I could take the helmet since I'm not buying it. It's the same stats. Yeah, I'll go with that. So yeah, it just was not great. So my fortitude for PvP is fades a bit quicker than it does for PvP. So with LFR, if you're not going to get it, you're just not going to get it. So it's a set boss fight. You have to know the mechanics and everything else. LFR is intended for you to learn, to a greater or less extent.
Come, shop, browse, smell.
There we go. So yeah, it was kind of a disappointing time. So yeah, so there we go.
Beware of
And that
Yeti.
kind of worked out. So I'd been hesitant to do anything with the head because I couldn't find the head that matched the PvP set. So yeah, yeah, I can't find the head that matches the set. I can get the chest. I can get everything but the the head for some reason, which I don't entirely follow. So I don't know, and I don't think you have to unlock this because I bought the waist, the shoulders. So yeah, my running LFR has not been paying off all that well. So I got like 2 pieces earlier on when I started, and then that's kind of been it. So I think I need to start running some different bosses. Maybe I've gotten most of what I wanted, like I wanted the neck since it was a teleport stuff like that. So the offhand, yeah, the green one, yeah, the green one. So I've gotten most of what I wanted, so I think I need to start running different bosses. Okay, so wasn't a great week for Mythics. A lot of the keys I had done um, for Fortitude, which was the what last week was, were +4. So I was trying to do like +7, +8 since I know I can handle those, and had a couple groups that didn't finish on time. Actually went over on one, which is unusual. I haven't actually. That was the first one I've actually went over on, and it was just barely too. Um, and yeah, it didn't finish on time. Didn't even finish the dungeon. Um, like it was just it was a grind. So what I had been finding was that regardless of what week it was, whether it was Fortitude or Tyrannical, people were overgeared. People knew the fights. This is season 3, so people were kind of used to doing everything by now. That was not the case this week. As I said with PvP and raiding, it was like people didn't know what to do. So I actually went over on the last one I did, which was Streets. However, I've already done it. It was a +8, and I'd already done it as a +8, so it didn't change my rating. I just needed one more for my second vault reward. So I'll have 2 of those. One will be 262, and then I think because I did 8 and 7s, the other one's like 259. So goes by your lowest key. So I had trouble even finding a group there for good time. So ooh, that is a bit of a difficult choice there. Oh, I could replace my. Okay, well that's interesting. Okay, well I guess we'll take the trinket. So that will be quite interesting indeed. That will give me basically another true shot, and it has speed, and it increases speed. So I played around with So Lee's secret technique, and I love this. Um, so it basically, for all intents and purposes, works like a buff used to when we had, when druids had a buff and monks and priests, paladins, all that. Um, just instead of the whole group, it just buffs you. So you can kind of just go down the list and see what, because it gives you their highest stat. Yeah, their highest secondary stat. Um, so I've ended up with um 20% haste in most cases, about 20% critical strike, haste, and mastery typically when I'm in a group, which is not terrible. Although focus is meant to generate slowly, so it doesn't make all that difference. I'm just using steady shot less, so I can actually stay with um, I can actually just keep going with trying to run through my rotation. So there are a few occasions where you still have to use steady shot, but for the most part, with rapid fire, the procs you get from aim shot, it's not terrible. I did swap out explosive shot for barrage. And for the most part, I like barrage. Now, my DPS did go down, so I'm not sure if that was explosive shot or if that was losing the totem, the shadowgrass totem. Um, because I'm not doing anything else uh, differently. So a bit confused there. Um, but yeah, other than one dungeon, which was streets where all the mobs were very close together, I pulled a couple extras I shouldn't have. Barrage works perfectly fine. The 20-second cooldown actually works really well with everything else, so you can actually use it when you want to, when you are actually in a you know uh, a fight with mobs. You don't. It's not just explosive shot. I was only able to use about once, and then the fight was usually by the time it came off cooldown and I'd ran through everything else, the fight was more or less over. So I do get a couple uses from barrage. I'm using death chakrams, my Necrolord class ability more since I don't have the totem. Um, and I don't know if that's the difference, as I was using the totem and the class ability. Um, yeah, I'm not sure because I pretty well spam multi-shot, so I get trick shot. So aim shot or rapid fire will basically be an AoE um, at that point. So I don't think volley is going to help. While it does damage, I think the 45-second cooldown, if 30 seconds was kind of too long, 45 seconds is definitely going to be too long. Um, and it's an area of effect, which I don't particularly care for. So I'm going to keep going with Barrage for right now. I might swap back to Explosive just to see if there's how big of a damage difference there is. Um, the yeah, I mean the yards is the same thing because of my mastery. So yeah, I think that's part of the problem was I was trying to use it. I try to stand further back because my mastery increases the range, so it lets me. So I'm almost at a 50-yard range, so I don't have to be all that close. So I think Barrage was hitting things because I was so far away that it shouldn't have been if I was closer. So just had to be a little more careful where I was facing when I used it. And other than that, um, I have some Valor, but I don't really know if there's anything to upgrade. So I'm gonna swap that out. Takes me to 255 speed. Very nice. As far as I can tell, I did mention that I would need to watch this to see if what it actually gave me as far as a stat. Every time I have looked, which I have forgotten to a time or two, it's critical strike. So it must have changed when I got an upgraded version of the trinket because I know the do I still have it? Yeah, I know the older one gave me versatility, and the newer one seems to give me critical strike, which is not terrible, but not also the most helpful thing I can have. So if I was to use this, 31% haste, does it stack with, where is it, True Shot? It does not. Good to know. Oh, it just reduces the, right. Never mind. I forget it's changed. It doesn't give you haste. It reduces the cooldown of aim shot and rapid fire. Yeah. And you generate additional focus. That's right. I forget. It used to increase haste. That's how I still think of it. So this might actually be good on boss fights or on mob fights. Actually, now that I think about it, if it works with True Shot a little better, I'll play with this and see. So I'm kind of sorry to lose the quantum device because it literally replaced itself. I've had this for so long. Like this was current and this was from 9.0 when I got it. It was 226. Well, I guess it just tells you when it was put in the game. It doesn't tell you when you actually got it. Because this one I know I got during Season 3. And it just says 9.0. So, yeah. So, yeah. So, there you go, folks. Hope you enjoyed that. And thank you for watching.